Katniss Everdeen is asked by the rebels in District 13 to use her image to amplify animosity against the capital and inspire revolution in the districts of Panem.
The good.
The actors in this movie give fantastic performances, just like they have in the last couple of Hunger Games movies. They always manage to bring their characters to life in such a way that both shows the seriousness of the situation, but feels real, and even allows for occasional moments of light humor. This movie does a really good job of building off of its predecessors and continuing to raise the stakes of the situation, making it more and more intense as the series goes along. Though I think they've hit a peak at this point, the emotional stakes in this movie are still very powerful because of the very good performances. The premise of the previous two movies focused mostly on the arena battles and an emphasis on the deconstruction of the various elements that go into making good reality TV. What the previous two movies did for reality TV, this movie does for war propaganda. It deconstructs it. It gives you an idea of the mentality that goes into making it, and they do it just as well. Being part one of a two-part story, this movie is obviously going to have a lot of build-up leading to part two, and this build-up constitutes a lot of good foreshadowing that fans of the book will hopefully recognize. And lastly, something I feel worthy to comment on. This is not what I usually say, but this time I can say I have read the Hunger Games books. And I have to say I feel very satisfied with the way that they've adapted both the spirit of the book as well as the content.
The iffy.
Being a part one movie, there's a little less action, it's not quite as intense, they're saving all of that for part two because that movie's basically going to be nothing but action. That being said, because of this, the movie isn't quite as exciting as the other two. In fact, I feel like I have to say this, even though I say it was a good part one movie that tells the story really well and in a necessary fashion to prepare us for part two, it is still a part one movie. It still suffers from some of the issues that other part one movies suffer from, and that might be a turnoff for some people.
The bad.
The romantic tension. I'm not going to say that this isn't a necessary part of the emotional state of the characters. I'm not going to say it doesn't add anything to it, but I feel like it shouldn't distract from the big picture. It should be a backseat thing, and the big picture should be on display, which most of the time it is, and they keep the focus where it needs to be. But there are times where the romantic tension kind of tries to jump forward into shotgun, and that's the part where it gets really irritating and distracts.
The verdict?
As a fan of the books, I'm glad to see that this was adapted so well to film. The actors are really committed, the emotional stakes are always there, the intensity is not watered down despite having a PG-13 rating instead of R. This is a movie where its storytelling has just been done phenomenally. This is Detective Steve. Stay tuned to my channel for my review on the finale, Mockingjay Part 2.